So when we talk about the next level, and which is the title of the show, and what I do with clients, I help them go from point A to point B, moving to the next level of success, whether it's an individual or a company. When you think about how leaders can take their lives to the next level and lead with integrity, what are 3 tips you have for success?
Well, I can only tell you what's worked for me,
Yeah.
or what I think has worked for me. And it's kind of 3-pronged, and because I know what you do, I kind of anticipated you might ask me something like this. The first one's an inside job, and I think the first thing that leaders need to do, certainly I needed to do, was stop listening to the voices in my head that said you can't, that you're not worthy, the limiting beliefs piece. And I've had guests on my show talking about crushing limiting beliefs, and it fundamentally works in your subconscious, and whether you even are aware of it or not, you know, I'm not good enough, I'm not good looking enough, I'm not smart enough,
Right.
I'm not worthy enough, whatever. All that crap gets in the way from you being successful. So that's number 1.
Yes, let's stay there for a moment. When I work with clients, that is the number 1 thing that we have to do. We have to excavate those limiting beliefs first. And so many people don't realize they're running the story in their head.
Yeah.
Like they come up against a challenge, or like with leadership in a company, they come up against some issue with other employees, and it's like, that's your go-to, but why?
Yeah, many CEOs I talked to even said one of their limiting beliefs, their subconscious limitation, was that they felt that they needed to know everything. And wow, how empowering it is for them to realize that you're allowed to say, you know what, I don't have all the answers. I'm a human being, but I'm going to get the answers, and I'm going to work with you to make it happen.
And that's the spirit of collaboration,
Yeah.
which goes back to human capital and making sure that everyone feels part of something bigger, which is amazing. So beyond overcoming limiting beliefs, what else do you see?
Number 2 would be, again, this worked for me, is approach relationships from a go-giver perspective. You know, what kind of value can you add and create in a conversation or a situation? Don't come into relationships, networking or what have you, with the mindset of what can I take, what can I get. I don't look at the scoreboard. I'm not one of those quid pro quo people where, you know, if I do something for you, you have to do something for me. If it's beneficial for you and the person I'm introducing you to, that's awesome. And that's enough for me. I don't need to know that you're going to necessarily come back with something. If you do, that's great, but that's not what's on the top of my mind.
Right.
So I'd say the go-giver mindset, to quote Bob Berg, is number 2 for me.
Yeah, that's really important in leadership, right? To have that spirit of how can I help my employees? When we're talking about human capital, how can I best support you? Which is what we were talking about when we were single parents, and we needed that, and you had someone that supported you, and I had someone that didn't, and you really see the difference and how 100%. It affected us paths forward. We both then took from that we want to be better,
right?
And we want to lead by example. And then what is your 3rd tip for achieving success?
Yeah, the 3rd one, in all honesty, and to stay on brand, is empower your people. You hired them, let them do what you brought them in to do, give them that great experience that we talked about earlier in the first segment, and let them shine. And they'll take a lot of burdens off of your plate, let you do what you do best, let them do what they do best, and give them a chance to grow.